Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and yeah, I was getting ready to record and I got invaded, and that was a pretty good fight. That was a really good fight. Whomever that was, they bested me, and yeah, I didn't realize until the last little bit that I was just about to die because of the power within. So that's why you saw that last little burst of desperation there. I wonder whether I would have been able to pull it out had I not used Power Within. Interesting thought, but yeah, that was a really good fight. So I'm happy to go down to someone like that who didn't seem to be using the most overpowered gear. It did seem as though they were using either a fire or a chaos large club, but can't fault them for that. I don't think that was the Great Club. I think that was, in fact, the Large Club. Still not sure what weapon. We have an embarrassment of riches here. Or, that's not the term I'm looking for. There's a term for that. But it's not immediately coming to mind. I was kindling the bonfire, and I was about to level up before we got invaded, so let's do that. We do need to put a few points into strength if we're ever going to use that Demon's Great Axe, so we're going to do that. Need... it's about 1,000 more souls for the next level. So it is Friday, August 21st, 2015, and this is being recorded directly after the previous episode. That was episode 13, and this is episode 14. I hope that each and every one of you out there is having a fantastic day today, whenever it is that you find yourself watching this. So before we reverse our hollowing, because I don't doubt that we're going to be invaded again, we're going to talk to Solaire. Although it's a shame that I probably shouldn't have kindled the bonfire. Because, and this was something that happened in episode 12 with Siegmeyer, was that the boulders were rolling by, and I tried really hard to separate the boulder sound from his dialogue, but it just wasn't. Actually, you know what? Just for this one occasion, let's do this.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you. You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
I'm sure that's for many people that's one of my favorite dialogue. I don't even know how to put that. One of my favorite things that an NPC says in a Souls game.
You really are. Oh no.
Okay, and he repeats himself, unfortunately, but yeah, we haven't talked a whole lot about Solaire yet, and interesting. I thought once we sat at the bonfire, since we exhausted his dialogue, that he would be gone, because that is how it happens in Dark Souls 2. Once you've exhausted, say, Lucatiel's dialogue, because I think she's one of the only NPCs who you talk to next to bonfires. Although I think that might have changed in Scholar of the First Sin. But your world, although no, that happens with Benhard as well. That even though he has his own world, and we have our own world, the two are momentarily aligned when one of the NPCs are in our world like this, not in phantom form. And this is something I talked about a little bit in my probably a fair bit in my Dark Souls 2 Let's Talk Lore series, which I would advise you to watch with caution, just because it was my first playthrough ever for YouTube. And so the production values aren't quite what you might be used to now if you've been watching my more recent stuff, because, you know, I have a different microphone, it's rendered in higher quality, and I spent a fair bit more time, and I've learned a lot about how to edit these episodes together that at the time I didn't quite have a handle on it just yet. But that's something I talked about in the context of Ben Hart and Lucatiel, that even though they have their own worlds, momentarily they will come into contact with ours. And yeah, I guess because at this point we're both at Anor Londo, and there are certain conditions, whatever they might be, that are satisfied for our worlds to be, you know, literally and metaphorically colliding in this manner. So it's pretty cool. I like that aspect, and how it really forces you to think. And in my view, kind of fits into my, I guess, multiverse understanding or multiverse theory of how the Souls games work, in that the cycles are infinite of how, you know, the game works and how the world changes, that they're infinitely repeating themselves, but over time, just due to random chance, the world and the actions and the consequences of the actions of any given chosen undead can change the world in very subtle, small ways. And occasionally, these multiverses come into contact with each other. They overlap slightly, and that's what's happening, in my view, in my opinion, because none of this is canonical at all. But in my view, that's what happens when we come into contact with a non-phantom NPC, who is also a chosen undead. So take that for what you will, but that's kind of my way of looking at it. We were using the halberd, and I'm tempted to switch back to it, but maybe we'll go with the Uchi Katana for a short while, simply because I want to ensure that I remain over, I think the final poise breakpoint is 55. And I could be wrong about that. I'll put some links in the description, provided that I remember to do so, which discuss the importance of poise breakpoints in Dark Souls 1. And I believe there are 3 main poise breakpoints, where if you get hit by an enemy carrying a certain weapon, you won't be stunned. So 58 is the highest and allows for, and what is with this leg over here? To the right of my Uchigatana is just kind of defying the laws of physics over here. So much for my multiverse theory. Or maybe that's as a result of the worlds colliding. Shit's going crazy over here. Oh, it stopped. It heard me. The leg is sentient. Take that. Oh, now these ones over here are ignoring the laws of inertia. What is happening? Okay, enough with animate furniture. We are going to use the Uchigatana simply because, as I mentioned previously, I'm not experienced at all with the halberd, and I don't imagine I would be very adept with it in PvP. But as you've seen, I haven't, I think I've only won one PvP matchup, I guess you could say, in my entire time doing this playthrough. So yeah, I'm not a pro by any means in PvP. I can occasionally hold my own, but just in the interest of ensuring I don't get brutally slaughtered each time, we are going to modify the gear a little bit to that end. And before we do anything else, I'm going to show off another little trick. I believe this is just a, speedrun trick. Not especially good at landing this jump, but you can skip over a considerable portion of the level. We're not going to be skipping the level, but you can, if you choose, by doing this jump. So you're obviously not meant to be able to do that, but you can. And this is where you go to open up the shortcut. This Silver Knight's going to rush at us. You will have to forgive me, because again, I play with the sound way down, and I didn't turn the sound effects back on after we spoke with Solaire. I'm so sorry about that. There we go. My sincerest apologies. Hey, friend. So just like the giants, the Silver Knights just dissipate after you kill them. And actually, before we do that, let's open the shortcut, because that was the whole reason why we came here. To do this first. You can see here as well, there's Drake heads basically everywhere. This one's green, but the rest of them are blue. But they do have other subtle variations as well. Texture quality is not especially good, but... And you can see there are larger ones up top as well. And it looks almost as though it goes from large to small. And our camera can't go any higher, so... we just have to leave it at that for now. But... interesting to note. Okay, Silver Knight gear. Let's get into a safe spot first. And as I mentioned again in previous episodes, I generally keep either my homeward bone or some item that you can't use while being invaded or summoning on my hotbars, so then that way I can tell whether I'm being targeted for invasion. So that it doesn't catch me completely off guard. Silver Knight armor. Armor of the Silver Knights who protect Anor Londo. When Lord Gwyn departed to link the fire, his knights split into two groups. The Silver Knights remained in the Forsaken capital in service of their goddess. See if there's any lore on the other pieces. We should probably just look from the inventory screen easier that way. No, it's all the same. But we did have the Silver Knight Spear that invader dropped for us when we were in the depths. So let's check that out. Oh, I put it in my bottomless box. Okay. Well, hopefully we can get one of our own, and then that way we don't have to rely on an item that an invader dropped for us. Hi, friend. I know in past episodes, or at least early on, I got a couple comments from people saying that I shouldn't rely so much on parrying, and then it gets boring watching someone just parry things over and over again. And I have been, and I hope that you've noticed, for anyone for whom that was bothersome, but I have been remaining mindful of that. But the Silver Knights are really easiest to dispatch if you parry them. And so that's why you are going to see me parrying the Silver Knights a fair bit. So even though we did open up the shortcut, we are going to proceed with the rest of the level. And do what must be done. Once again, you can see it breathing and the chain facing towards us. gold coin. Coin made of gold with Allfather Lloyd and his white halo shown on its face. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is souls. Those who dream of returning to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. So similar very much to the copper coin, if not an almost identical item description to the copper coin that we picked or that we grabbed from bowl cut guy at Firelink. Way of White leader, or at least representative. How am I not remembering his name? Oh well. Another mimic to do. Oh, and we might potentially be in the process of being invaded again. They are so creepy. Silver coin, which I presume... Oh, well, it does actually differ in who's on the coin, so that's pretty significant. This one has the legendary Night King Rendell on its face. I don't know a lot about Night King Rendell or Allfather Lloyd, so I'm interested in us potentially learning more about them, and also in us potentially, or in one of you potentially chiming in the comments section and maybe talking a little bit about the significance of either character. So you're very much welcome to do so if that's something you want to do. But this isn't a lore playthrough, it's a casual playthrough, so no one's under... Not that the commenters on my lore playthrough are obligated, but no one's obligated in any case to explain things in the comments. But you're always welcome to chime in and do so if that's something you want to do. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those messages. It's not especially clever. Amazing chest that, oh, it's so funny. It's kind of a shame that the Uchi gets us very, very close to being able to one-shot these Silver Knights, but not quite. We have to polish them off with a hit afterwards, but... Excellent timing for an invasion. Okay, I thought maybe they had invaded right where we were, but that doesn't seem to be the case. This would be a good spot for a duel, if they can figure out that we're up here. And when you're invading, or when you're in someone else's world and they're not around you, you do see life bars moving. There he is. Oh, it's the same guy. Let's see if we can drop anything for him. Sorry, friend, I don't really have anything. Oh. I guess I should have been ready for that. Okay, we're not going to use power within this time. I'm not entirely sure what I did to merit a well, what is it there, but sure. I'm reasonably certain that was the same person from last time. I could be wrong about that, though. Aegon's feeling lazy again. It's like, you can stand up if you want to reverse your hollowing. What are you doing? Can't lose. I don't think there were a lot of souls, but there was some humanity there, so we gotta be careful here. I am hoping for a Silver Knight sword to drop at some point, because I love the Silver Knight sword. Not the best scaling, but it looks amazing, and base damage is pretty good, if I recall correctly. Oh, I thought to myself, no, there's no way after just saying that I would get one. Unfortunately not, but I guess could always use a Dragon Slayer arrow, maybe? I thought that maybe I would have been able to parry them both at once. You can do that in Dark Souls 2 with the Cyan Knights. I've never done it in Dark Souls 1, but I figured might as well try it out. If it is in fact possible, I think I would have been pretty close to being able to do it there. I almost forgot about this, but look who we can see through the window here. Hi, Siegmeyer. How you doing, buddy? So that's excellent news, because that means we didn't screw up his questline.
Whatever can be done. Ah, you again. Let me guess. Were you repelled by the Silver Knights? Oh, don't be ashamed. 'Tis the fate of vanguards like you and I. I'll think of something. We can overcome this together.
I was actually repelled by an invader. But close enough.
This is quite a fix. We'll need another 3, no, maybe 5 bodies. Quite a fix indeed. This is...
Alright, we got this, Siegmeyer, don't worry. I think that there's one close to the door. if I recall correctly. And it seems as though I'm not recalling correctly, so we're gonna buff our weapons so that we can kill them in one riposte. Yeah, there he is. Hey, friend. That was not especially pretty, but we did that. We did it. 2 Demon Titanites. Hey, friend. We did it.
Oh ho! What's on your mind, friend? Wait. You defeated those monsters? Fantastic. I'm saved! This Knight of Katarina hereby commends you. Take this as a token of my gratitude. But be warned, gallantry entails great risks. Next time, give me a chance to come up with a plan.
Sure thing. Sorry, friend.
But be warned, next...
So he gave us the Tiny Bing's ring, which is the equivalent of the life ring from Dark Souls 2. And I believe you can get this as a starting gift. Ring made of an ancient tiny red jewel. Grants small increase to HP. Rings grant powers large and small. Their discovery and effective use can make one's journey easier. So, true to it being a starting gift, they give you a little background about rings and their significance. So we don't really learn anything about Siegmeyer there, but interesting nonetheless. Is there a Titanite demon in here? No, it's underneath us, yeah. This is, I believe, just a soul item. Yeah. 10,000s. Whoa, I forgot about you. Hello. Where did you come from? Was it merely because I walked in? Oh, yeah, never mind. He's stationed right there. I don't know how I forgot about him. And from here... I don't have a perfect recollection of where we need to... Oh, yeah, we need to go back up. It's been a while since I've explored Anor Londo in full. And that, I know, has been largely the theme of this playthrough so far. But it has also been, yeah, an incredibly long time since we played this game in general, or since I've played this game in general. So something interesting that was apparently said about Dark Souls 3 is that whatever you see on the horizon, you can go there. Now, can you imagine? Although you can see there's quite a bit of the horizon here is pixelated, but can you imagine being able to actually explore the rest of the town? Like, it's a large enough area as it is, so that would be just nuts. I liken this place in Bloodborne to, I guess, it's akin almost to Bergenworth to me. And yet, Bergenworth is such a small place. And I don't remember whose comment it was a little while back. But the comment that asked me, and again, I apologize, I don't remember who actually left the comment, but asked me what I would like to see in a Bloodborne expansion. And I've thought about that question a little bit more. And one of the things I'd certainly like to see, that I didn't mention then because I hadn't really thought about it until that question was asked, and notwithstanding my whole, I don't want to say what they should do because putting that aside for the moment, I think it would be really cool if you could somehow travel back in time to Byrgenwerth. And that would be consistent kind of with my my desire and what I said in that episode about wanting to... It was the episode where we were in the depths. I don't recall which one, 7 or 8 perhaps. Where I said it would have been cool if we could meet Ludwig or Lawrence. And I think that, yeah, the DLC provides plenty of opportunities for that. But the point I was going to make, more generally, is that in terms of its importance to the story and the game, I think Anor Londo does a just incredible job of blending gameplay and story in a way that is just simply masterful. Whereas Bloodborne does an excellent job of that as well, but Byrgenwerth as an area is rather disappointing. And so it's interesting just seeing the contrast, because I don't think there's an area I like more in terms of its lore significance and gameplay value than Anor Londo in any of the Souls games. Definitely using the wrong weapon for that engagement, so let's switch that up. Let's see how we do with the greatsword, which we can actually wield with one hand now that we've leveled up. This is easily the most we've died in an episode for quite some time. So we're doing 453 with the greatsword. What are we doing with the... And it's 12 pounds. What about the Black Knight sword, which is 8 pounds? 474? Alright, we were using the wrong weapon, clearly. He has way more health than I remember him having. That's probably because he drops 2 Demon Titanite instead of 1. Alright. Let's just go back to the Balder sword. Or the Balder side sword. Just because it helps us strike a perfect balance between our equipment and the weapon. We'll have a greater range of possibilities once we get the Ring of Favor and Protection. But until then, we're just going to have to stick with this setup. I think we've done everything we need to do in that part of the keep. So let's go this way. Sorry. Often forget to put my online status onto busy so that you don't see notifications. So what I like to do here is before I go to talk to the giant blacksmith, I usually poison these two guys. Because if you're not around, you don't aggro them or anything. They generally don't heal. Although you may need to poison them a second time. Gosh darn it. Whoa, hey friend. This is something that's definitely made easier when you have the Hawk Ring, which we are going to get. And we also have feather arrows. I don't know why, whoa. I don't know why we have, How did you get... Usually he falls down before he gets up that high. There we go. If you go up to, I believe, about here, I don't think his great arrows can hit you anymore. Yeah, there we go. Looks like my Xbox is frozen. Good times. And we're back. I was thinking while I was restarting my Xbox that that's probably the game trying to tell us, hey, stop trying to cheese everything. So we will poison this guy, but that's all the cheese for now. We are going to finally meet the giant blacksmith, though. We will grab the great bow there a little bit later. Or at least after we've opened up the shortcut here. We have to take out these... I think... Now it's coming to me. Okay, well, Petrus of Thorland. That's the hair bull cut guy whose name I forgot earlier. And I believe these are actually called Batwing demons. Kind of creepy. And that one's an idiot, and will occasionally just do that. And then, due to the recoil of its attacks, will fall off. There you go. Good job, friend. Okay, so we got the shortcut open. And are these guys guarding an item? They are. Well, good time for me to demonstrate that if you shoot them, say, in the leg... See ya, friend? They are loyal. Not the most intelligent demons, though, it would seem. But they do seem to be doing the bidding of the gods, and either that or somehow they spread here. But then again, why would Batwing demons bring you here from Sen's Fortress? Unless they were working for the gods in some way. Or maybe in their way of seeing it, they think that they're just messing with the gods by bringing people here. Which is, I suppose, entirely possible as well. So are we going to break your stuff here? Because we need this chest, which has the Hawk Ring in it, which belongs to a character that we'll be meeting later on, Hawkeye Go. Hawk Ring, one of the special rings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn. The Hawk Ring belonged to Hawkeye Go, who led the Great Archers. Boosts bow range so that arrows fly like they were shot by Go's great bow, which took down high-flying dragons. And see, this is exactly what I was talking about with respect to the Bloodborne DLC, in that it would be wonderful if we would have something like this, where there were all these characters that we had heard about through item descriptions, but that we never met in the base game until Artorias of the Abyss came along. And so I think that that would be just something along those lines would be really just great.
Who are you? Forge your weapons? Tis no good, but forge, very good. I help any time.
So he doesn't really want to talk, and that's fine. Alright, we have a Demon's Great Axe to... Oh, no, not lightning. We want to make it crystal. Oh, but we need the crystal ember first. What am I doing? Could make the Uchi Katana into a Chaos Blade. Don't want to do that, though. And so it's showing you all of the potential items that you can upgrade into boss weapons, even if you don't have the souls, which is interesting. We are going to buy some things from you. Do want some Twinkling Titanite. That is rather expensive, though. I guess that's all we really need from him anyway, so might as well.
Hello, forge I can, strong I am.
That you are. You're very strong. But also kind of gougey with your prices for a Twinkling Titanite, but I appreciate you nonetheless.
Cometh soon.
So there are a number of things that we're going to want to upgrade with Twinkling Titanite, but given the cost of them and the lack of any... I don't know if you can farm them beyond them dropping from the Crystal Lizards. Usually I just buy them from Hawkeye Go when I get to the point in the game where souls don't really matter all that much anymore. Especially if you're doing a PvP build and you don't want to go over a certain level. No! That was close. It's just not my day today. Dragon Slayer Great Bow. Bow of the Dragon Slayers, led by Hawkeye Go, one of Gwyn's 4 knights. This bow's unusual size requires that it be anchored to the ground when fired. Only uses specialized great arrows. Oh, actually we didn't need to open up the shortcut because it drops down over here. That's nice. Alright, we're not done in Anor Londo just yet. I'm looking at the time in my recording, and I think we have enough time to do an attempt on Smough and Ornstein. I don't know who we're going to take out first, or at least I haven't thought about it. I don't particularly enjoy either of their weapons, so really it comes down to which one do we want to fight in their super mode, and I'm going to say that it's probably, yeah, we're going to take out Ornstein first. Oh, but we feel the black eye orb quivering. That is something that we're going to take care of in the next episode. And I have something rather special in store there, so you can all you'll all hopefully be looking forward to that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, we are going to open up the shortcut here, and I think we might as well summon Solaire for one fight, and if we're going to summon him for any fight, it might as well be this one. And we are going to want to equip our Darkwood Grain Ring. Always helpful against Smough and Ornstein. We're not going to want... Oh, I guess we could block. If we're going to be fighting Super Ornstein, we'll need to block occasionally. Hi, Solaire. How's it going? Solaire, if I haven't already mentioned it, is also from Astora, my apparent homeland, so... Oh, I forgot that if you don't very carefully lead him down the stairs, then he just falls off and loses a chunk of his health. I did not deserve to survive that fight. That was so incredibly ugly. Yeah. That sucked. But we did it with one Estus flask to spare. Yeah. We're going to come back here, so I'm not going to talk about the boss room. Almost walked right into the shaft. We're not going to talk about the boss room itself just yet, but I do want to get the Lord Vessel before I call it an episode so that I can do off-camera farming and stuff, and not have to worry about simply going from place to place on foot. So this is a warpable bonfire, another one of those bonfires you're never going to want to bother kindling, because you could just warp here from Firelink, where you can have 20 there.
Thou hast journeyed far, and overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child. O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight. Since the day Father his form did obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lord Vessel to thee.
By the power of the Lord Vessel, you may now warp between bonfires.
And beseech thee, succeed Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices. O chosen undead, thou hast journeyed far. Since the day Father his form did obscureth, I have awaited thee. Once living, now undead, and a fitting heir to Father Gwyn thou art. O chosen undead, and beseech thee. A great indeed, we had felt that without fire, all shall be a frigid and frightful dark. Now thou shalt go forth, chosen undead. May thou be one with the sunlight forevermore.
Sorry about skipping through some of the dialogue there. Some of what she was saying was repeat dialogue, and some of it was new. And I skipped through some of the new dialogue and let the repeat dialogue go through. But we're not going to get into the subject of Guinevere in great detail in this episode because, yeah, that's a whole can of worms, and we're right at the end. But I will just say briefly, I wonder whether her speech, and obviously it's pre-programmed in the context of the game, but I wonder if Gwendolyn is speaking through the illusion of Guinevere, or whether it's, a simple if-then statement with her speech that that Gwendolyn somehow programmed for Guinevere's illusion. A question for another day, though. But that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.